Hi Kyle, I have your file in front of me and I see kind of what you're saying. I mean, I can tell with especially the perspective of this void here that you need everything to lay, like for instance, the word void, the bottom of the letters should come closer to you and the top of the letters should actually be away from you in perspective, right? Well, let's start with the into. So what I'm going to do, so I know where this original is, right? I'm going to duplicate it. Now I'm going to turn off the one I duplicated, right, which is the one I'm going to work on, and I'm going to click the main one and tone it down to about 30% opacity. Now I'm going to lock it so I can't touch it, right? Now I'm going to show the original. Now the thing with the bounding box for the, well, let me just get there. I'm going to marquee the word into. Now I'm going to hit the E key. You see how this bounding box is not lining up with the letters? Well, the letters first, this is why I actually did duplicate it and turned it to 30% so I could see where they were. I have to turn this more in relation to the X ruler so it's straight across. See? Now I can go Object, Transform, Reset Bounding Box and turn it back. Now the bounding box is working for me. So in the E key, it's Command Option Shift or Control Alt Shift. I'm going to grab this corner right here, hold Control Alt Shift or Command Option Shift, and bring it towards me like this, so the letters are coming towards me. Now they may need some customization. It may even need a little bit more. Okay, so I should actually now hold the Command key so I can click away, right? Hit the A key for the direct select, click in the middle of this, hit the E key. Now I can turn it to kind of customize it so it looks better. Okay, so now there is what the word into looks like when the top of the letters are closer to you. And possibly this should actually come in here and then turn a little bit more so we have it like that. Okay, let's go to the word void. All right, so I'm going to click the entire word void just like this. So let me tell you what I'm doing. I'm in the E key, right? Okay, so I'm holding Command or Control and clicking the first letter, adding the Shift key and clicking the second, third, and fourth shapes. Now, same thing has to occur. So we have to turn this in relation to where the bounding box is going to work for the letters. Now I go to Object, Transform, Reset. Now I can turn it back. For some reason you had an extra V and an O there. So I'm going to click on the extra V and the O. I don't know, maybe I did it. And I'm going to grab this V, this letter, shift click them all. Now I can move it back and see now, okay, I just didn't need an extra letter. I don't know how that actually ended up happening, but that's okay. Now I'm going to turn it to match back up where your letters are, which is a really good trick to learn about copying a layer just for the purposes of position, if you follow what I'm saying. Now that I have this, we probably should shrink it just a little bit. So I'm going to just grab this, hold the Shift key, and shrink it a little bit. And I'll make it bigger in a second, but watch. Now I'm going to take and move it just a little bit closer this way. Okay, so let me zero in. If I hold Command, grab this corner and hold Command Option Shift, which is to do a 3-point perspective transformation, I can actually now lean this towards me by grabbing it and moving it up. Now the letters look like they're laying down. I must have that in a different group inside. Okay, it just, because all these letters are separated like this, I probably need to, look what I'm doing here, you have extra stuff in there that probably shouldn't even be in there. Let me turn this. Okay. there's things that are happening inside of this that I'm not happy, like for whatever reason this D did that, and I'm going to see what the issue is. Okay, so I'm going to Control Z or Command Z back because I have to separate this. I'm going to put it over here for now. I have to figure out what is going on. So there is the V, there is the compound path for this one. So I have them both right here. Now I'm going to click the I, and I'm going to move the I right below the compound path. See how I did that? Now I'm going to take the D, which is a compound path. Oh, it's up. Okay, so you have a clipping path in there or something for the inside of that letter. Let me take it away. I don't even think you need that for the inside of the letter. So really, this shape here should just move. I'm going to move it up above here and see what I get. These two things here probably aren't even needed, so I'm going to turn them off and turn them off. Okay, I had to figure out what was going on there because I wanted this to be all by itself. So what am I talking about? Look how I have the V, the O, the I, and the compound path all in a row. Okay, so I'm not going to group them, but I really could just throw these two things away here because they're really not needed in my opinion. So let's go like this now, and I'm going to now I can put it back, and it still has a reset bounding box. So you've got to do that first. Okay, so now let's again, let's shrink it. So I'm holding the Shift key, just shrinking it a bit. Okay, now I'm going to grab Command Option Shift. I'm going to grab the corner, then Command Option Shift or Control Alt Shift, and I'm going to stretch it towards me so it reads like this. Now I think we need to work the individual letters. Okay, so the D here needs to turn slightly and move over. The I needs to turn slightly and move over. So how am I doing that? I'm holding the Command or Control key and clicking in the center, letting go, and I'm back to the transform tool, right? So now I can move this a little bit closer because it looks better, and take the V and move it a little, and move it a little closer. So now I'm going to save the file so I don't lose it. And let's now see if that works. Okay, so the V needs to turn towards me. I can tell the V needs to turn towards me. So it needs to turn towards me, and I probably need to now, watch this, I probably need to grab just this corner, just hold the, and I'm going to have to practice here, just hold the Command key and stretch out one edge. If you hold Command Option Shift or Control Alt Shift, it does the entire 3-point perspective. But if you only hold Command or Control, it does just a corner, and you can custom fit it. So this is the kind of thing that you're going to need to learn. And I think, let me now turn off the bottom text, and now that word void is looking better, kind of. But the D needs to get a little thicker, I think. So I'm going to take the A key and click on this point, grab this one, and just move it up like this, and just clean up the drawing. This is what I would do if it were me. Okay, take the center path right here, which is a compound path, but it's still a shape. Gosh, I don't want you to be confused. I can actually grab this center path, hold Control Alt or Command Option. Okay, whoops, nope. I have to, okay, I only have to hold Alt or Option so that all the points are solid on this, because this is part of a compound path. So let me click away and show you again. If you're going to isolate, see how it's an inner path and an outer path? Okay, I need all the points solid. So I'm going to be in the direct select and hold Alt or Option and click, and now I can actually pick that up and I can actually reposition it so it has a better feel. And now look at how your void actually looks pretty good. This is what it did. Where's my text? Copy. Right there. Okay, so here is the way it did look. Okay, here is the way it should look. Now let's do the word the. Okay, now the is going to have to be a little bit, and I gotta open this up to see if there's any secrets here. And maybe I did this, but it looks like there is a stroke around that. So I'm going to take the stroke away. I could have done that. I don't know. So let me click all three of these. I only want these. So in the direct select tool, I hold shift. I click on the first one, hold shift and shift. Now I have those. Okay. Like I said, I may need to do these three separately. So nope, look at over here in the layer palette. They're all together here at THE. So this is good. But if I hit the E key, it's certainly not going to work, right? So I need to turn that in relationship to the X and Y ruler again. See, I'm turning on the bottom text so I can see the bottom text, so I can reposition it. Now, I'm just going to do it right here. I'm going to reset the bounding box. Hopefully I'm not making you crazy. And I'm going to hold the corner, Command Option Shift or Control Alt Shift, and now take it. I have to remember what I'm doing here. No. I have to turn this off because I've got to turn off the text copy and figure out what I want to do here. So in the E, okay, this is kind of odd. The way you have it positioned around this, the bottom of the E would need to get bigger. The bottom of the H could be the one to get bigger, but the top of the T should be the one to get bigger, if you follow what I'm saying. So it lays correctly. So maybe I need to do these separately. I'm thinking. So let me turn this back on. I'm going to see if I can make this work individually, because the goes around the corner kind of funny. So I'm only going to click the E. Okay. I'm going to turn the E. I know this is a lot. I'm going to turn the E and reset the bounding box. Now, I said the bottom of the E needs to get bigger. So let's click, hold Command Option Shift or Control Alt Shift and make the E bigger. Now let's turn it back and put it where it's supposed to go and shrink it a skosh. So I'm holding the Shift key. Now let's turn it even more. Now that looks pretty good. So the E is coming towards you. Okay, now the top of the H needs to get bigger. So I don't even need to reset that. So I can click, reset the bounding box. So I can hold Control Alt Shift or Command Option Shift and make the H bigger like this. Turn it so it goes around the corner just like this. Now, got to see it in relationship to the word into. So the top of this is bigger. The top of the T should almost be bigger. I think I'm also going to go like this. I think I'm going to shrink it a little bit like this. Take the E and shrink it a little bit like this. And then the T is going to, we just have to practice with the T. So I'm going to turn it, reset the bounding box. Now I have to practice. I have to see what looks better. So click, Command Option Shift, make it bigger. See, I'm making the bottom of the T bigger, but the top of the O next to it, if you know what I mean, is going the other way, is going the correct way. Because it's reading upside down. So I don't think that's going to work. Even if I go like this. Let me see how that looks as it goes around the corner. So if I pick this up and put it up here and turn it a bit, that's not too bad. That's not too bad, actually. It's just a little funny because it is going around the corner. You know what I mean? So it's going around this curve. So let's just concentrate here. So the V, I think the V needs to get shrinkier. So what I'm going to do is go like this and shrink it a little bit and turn it. Okay, now let's look at it. A little bit bigger on the overall letter. So I hold the Shift key and make it slightly bigger and move it over. Okay, let's now click away. Into the void. I actually think that and this I think is going to help. I actually think that the curve should go more like this. So if I pick this up and turn it, Then I pick this one up. I'm holding Command, right? I'm letting go and I'm in the E key so I can turn this. I actually think it needs to go like this. And the eye needs to move over. And it needs to go down here like this. And let's now see how that looks. Ooh, that's not too bad. Okay, so here was, let me turn that off. Let me click on your text circle and put it back at 100%. So there's what we had, right? I'll send you back this file too. There's what we had. And let me turn it off so I can get a good picture of it. There's what, sorry, doggone it. I want to do it again. There's what we had. Okay, and here's what we have. And I think that looks a lot better. The T could actually get slightly bigger. So I need to unlock it, of course, Mr. Sorio. So the T should get just a little bit bigger. And not turn it exactly, maybe a little bit. And now let me see it. And the word into, the whole thing should move. So I'm going to click like this. Okay, now I'm just going to pick it up and just bring it down here so it looks better. Oh, that looks good. Now what is that? Okay, that's a leftover shape. I'm just going to get rid of it. And now there is your shape. Oh, that looks good. Into the void. So I'm going to save it, send it back to you, and give you this movie link. Thanks. Let me know what you think.